Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the On Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of On Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. Happy fall. This is John Frenaye, and it is Friday, September 22nd. It is the autumnal equinox. Officially, fall doesn't come in until 4:02 p.m., and that gives you permission to buy absolutely anything you want with pumpkin spice in it. Speaking of pumpkin spice, there was quite a dust-up on the Eastport Neighborhood Forum Facebook page about the new Starbucks coming in on Main Street in what was once Zachary's Jewelers about 10 or 12 years ago. Most recently was a Pocket Park and now is a new building. And everybody was, why do we need 3 Starbucks? Why do we need 3 Starbucks? Well, there are not going to be 3 Starbucks. There is going to be 1 Starbucks. The Starbucks that's located down on City Dock next to Moe's is closing and is going to be moving into that location at the bottom of Main Street. Additionally, the one at the top of Main Street in the basement of the Maryland Inn, that one too is closing and will be consolidating into the newer store. The time frame is not set in stone, but they expect it to happen sometime in December. If you can't get enough football, Sunday morning, get up at 9:30 and catch the Ravens as they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. If you're out and about cutting the grass or doing errands, maybe going to the Annapolis Home and Garden Expo, you can stream it live for free on Yahoo. Good news for commuters, bad news for your pocketbook. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan proposed a $9 billion plan to add express toll lanes to the routes of 3 of Maryland's most congested highways. The D.C. Beltway, I-270, which connects Frederick and D.C., and the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, which is between Baltimore and Washington, apparently. This will be a separate toll lane, similar to what they have north of the Baltimore Beltway, heading into White Marsh, which, by the way, I use all the time. And another traffic headache news, Forest Drive, which I don't find to be as horrible as everybody likes to claim, but County Executive Steve Shue and Mayor Mike Panelides have forged another joint traffic initiative on Forest Drive. They're going to share studies, they're going to share responsibilities for clearing traffic, and they are beginning a drone project where police will be able to clear accidents quicker, which is actually a very brilliant move. Officers will be trained in drone usage, which will photograph accident sites so they can preserve evidence, they can take pictures, take video, clear the scene, and get traffic moving again. The timing of the announcement is not lost on me. The mayor just won his primary 2 days before the announcement, and he has an election in about 40 days.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather. Today is Friday. Let's get right into the forecast. The song remains the same for Annapolis and Anne Arundel County on the whole, with summer-like conditions continuing today all the way through Monday. Expect temps in the low to mid-80s and lows at night 65 to 70. As for the tropics, Jose is no longer a threat in the northern Atlantic, and we do not expect any interaction at this point from Hurricane Maria with the east coast of the United States. So nothing to worry about on the weather radar now all the way into early next week, although we do expect some changes mid to late next week with a cold front moving through and more seasonal temps of 75 to 80 coming into the area. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free app at DCMDVA Weather and follow us 24/7, 365 on our website at dmvweather.com or on Facebook or Twitter. This is George Young with your Annapolis forecast. Whatever the weather out there, have fun and be safe.
You know, the Eye on Annapolis Daily is possible in part because of the incredibly generous support of Ram's Head on Stage. Ram's Head, where every seat is less than 48 feet from the stage, brings more than 400 concerts a year to the area, both at Ram's Head on Stage on West Street, as well as Maryland Hall, St. John's Key Auditorium, and other venues in the area. To wet your whistle, check out some of these upcoming shows this week. This Thursday at Maryland Hall, Randy Newman, prolific composer and musical satirist. There are still tickets available. Friday night, the comedy of Screech Yes, Screech from Saved by the Bell. Dustin Diamond will be in Annapolis for the latest installment of the Ram's Head Laughs and Drafts comedy series. And on Saturday and Sunday, the smooth stylings of multi-platinum seller Jeffrey Osborne will return to Ram's Head on Stage. Tickets are still available, and you can get yours at ramsheadonstage.com, or if you want to go old school, head on down to their box office at 33 West Street in the heart of beautiful downtown Annapolis. And for a guaranteed great night out on the town, ramsheadonstage.com.
Need to make plans for the weekend? We got you covered. Here are our top picks. Be sure to visit onannapolis.net to sign up for the events newsletter with a listing of all the upcoming area events.
I thought there might come a time in Annapolis where there would be nothing to do on the weekend and you could just sort of sit back and relax. Well, this weekend's not it. Tomorrow and Sunday, you've got the Annapolis Home and Garden Expo happening at the Byzantium Center. What is the Byzantium Center, you say? It's the big conference center that's attached to the Greek Orthodox Church on Riva Road across from Annapolis High School. And this fall, they're going to be featuring more than 80 vendors, which will have information for absolutely every interior and exterior project you can possibly imagine in your home. And they're also going to have, from DIY Network's Yard Crashers, Matt Blashaw will be there both days to give you the ideas that you need to make your outdoor living just as cool as your indoor living. Tickets are available at the door, and it is from 10 to 6 on Saturday and from noon to 5 on Sunday. Given that today is the first day of fall, it is appropriate that the corn maze at the Maryland Sunrise Farm up in Gambrills opens up today. 8+ acres of corn maze that you can wander through. They're going to have pedal carts for the kids, farm bowling, a corn box, which I'm not sure what that is, but if it's like just a giant box full of corns, like a ball pit, I'm so into it, and much, much more. It will run for several weeks up there right on Route 175 in Gambrills. Check it out. Saturday down here at City Dock, you've got the Kunta Kinte Festival from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Lots of live entertainment, ethnic food, cultural vendors, and much, much more. It's put on by the Chesapeake Children's Museum this year, and they're going to really weave in the whole African-American-Mexican connection, which I'm very curious about. I'm not sure that I ever knew that that was a connection that existed. Speaking of fall, starting today, the Homestead Gardens opens up their Fall Festival, and this is one of the best ones in the area. Homestead Gardens does it right. You've got the pumpkin picking, you've got the tractor rides, you've got the kids zone and everything else, the food. Pro tip, go get the apple cider donuts. You've never had anything better, trust me. Homestead Gardens will run that for about a month and a half till the end of October. Great place to get your pumpkins for Halloween. Just a great way to spend a day. Saturday from noon to 2 at Kicked Up Fitness, which is right off of Chinkapin Round Road on Lincoln Drive. There will be a book signing by Michael Bell, who wrote a book called Dual Lives. So what's so exciting about a book called Dual Lives by a guy named Michael Bell? Well, Michael Bell is a internationally known artist who teaches at Southern High School. Great guy, not what he seems. He's also the artist for The Mob. He was hired by John Gotti to do art for him. He's very much entrenched into providing artwork with The Mob. And this is all about his story about leading dual lives as an artist to The Mob and a very lauded school teacher here in Anne Arundel County. Saturday noon at Kicked Up Fitness. Sunday, you can get the Oompa bands out, crank out your Lederhosen, and get that German beer stein. It is the 27th annual West Annapolis Oktoberfest. You're going to have plenty of German food, plenty of German beer, arts and crafts. It's going to really be a good kickoff to actually the holiday season, and you can probably pick up some good presents for your relatives there as well. And tickets are still available for the Navy-Cincinnati game, which gets underway at 3:30 on Saturday. The 6th annual Annapolis Recovery Walk takes place tomorrow at 11 a.m. The walk gets started at the Stanton Center at 92 West Washington Street in Annapolis, Maryland. We'll walk down to City Dock. After the walk, return to the Stanton Center, where there will be 30 tables of recovery resources, kids zone, and free recovery swag to the first 1,000 walkers. So this is expected to be a pretty big walk. It will impact traffic downtown in Annapolis. Have a great weekend and be safe.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.